Okay, we have to talk about what comes next. So, yesterday was huge news. Well, 2 days ago. Actually, yesterday from when I'm recording this. So, or 2 days ago from when you're hearing this, or maybe it's like a month ago from when you're hearing this. But we have gotten the news that the Snyder Cut will be coming to bless all of us, and that is on HBO Max. Now, the Snyder Cut is going to be coming 2021. It has to finish a couple of things post edit and all of that. Plus, they are talking about having some of the actors come back and finish some audio work, probably. So, all is good on that. Most of the actors seem on board. We saw Ben Affleck talk about it. Well, not really talk about it, but he retweeted the release the Snyder Cut thing, and he even tweeted something of his own. So it looks like we are on the great path to seeing the Snyder Cut being released soon. Kudos to everybody who didn't give up on it. But now, my friends, the next question is, with that being already set in stone, when are we going to get the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad? Which is another big project that we all know had a very dark history in the re-editing that happened. So basically, the way that it goes was that Warner Brothers had a Ayer cut, right? And then you remember that second trailer that came out for Suicide Squad. Not the first one that got released at Comic Con that was pretty dark and had all of us excited, but the second one that was pretty, I would say, all over the place and kind of felt like wacky-ish of sorts, but in a good way. Once that came out and Warner Brothers saw how huge of a reception that got, they were like, you know what? Hey, company that did the trailer, why don't you come on over and make some cuts to the film, add some stuff here and there, and maybe we got something to work with, right? Because let's add all of this as well, because many people are loving these 2 minute trailers that we're dropping for Suicide Squad. And so that happened, and now we're like, wait, what does this mean? Are we going to get what David Ayer intended with that first trailer? Or are we getting this new second trailer feel for the whole movie and it's going to change everything? Turns out it changed everything. And now we have a mess of a movie when it gets released that just feels very much so like this is what I thought y'all wanted when y'all saw that second trailer. We gave you the feeling and everything, but now all of you hate it, and now it's a mess of a thing. We're gonna cut some scenes that had the Joker, all of that, and now we're going to give you a completely different movie than what you wanted. But hey, you said you loved that trailer. What's going on? You know what? Forget it. We're here now. And AT&T, who is also behind HBO Max, seems to be pushing those wheels on ahead, as we've seen them tweet. Several fans had been asking for the David Ayer fan that things might be gonna happen. And one person did ask, could that potentially mean that there could be a chance that we are going to be seeing a David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad be released on HBO Max maybe next year? And to that, AT&T said anything is possible. All it takes is a little magic with a gift of Enchantress. So it looks like AT&T hears that. They're talking about it. We even see David Ayer reply to AT&T standing by when they said one thing at a time, when someone said, when are we getting David Ayer cut? So it looks like definitely they are listening. And as I said in my Suicide Squad, not my Suicide Squad video, my Zack Snyder director's cut video, it makes sense for HBO to use content that they already have, that they can just release, that they can put a little money into, and they know it's going to have a cult following because people are going to be tuning in to watch this, and they already have a new slate of DC shows. And I think that we could definitely be seeing the DCU universe that we saw from Zack Snyder and David Ayer's time sort of be interjected into HBO Max and be lived through there, and then have DC Universe standalone films and big screens and all of that, and it could just be a whole big web of things. And I think that all the fans would definitely be on board for that, because I know I would be as well. So could you imagine that? Because there is this big rumor floating around, and I'll address it in the video as well, that Henry Cavill might actually be returning to play Superman in future DCU films. Now, we know that Ben Affleck is out as Batman right now, and they could easily fix that with a Flashpoint timeline paradox type deal, which I'll talk about in the video as well, coming this week. Y'all better subscribe if y'all want all these videos, because they're coming. To notifications on, all that good stuff. But we are also hearing rumors about a Justice Society of America movie in the works, or it could actually be a sort of short series. And that is apparently only going to happen if indeed Black Adam proves to be a good film. And I'm pretty sure it will. With the Rock in there, you're gonna have a movie that is gonna do great globally, because I think the Rock is just that global factor that Warner Brothers needs in order to get Black Adam launched. So we're gonna be definitely getting that coming soon. So I think the future is looking very bright for DC. They didn't have to follow an MCU type concept of having everything be interconnected, but I think that them working on just quality projects, whether they're standalones and they might here and there talk about previous movies or shows and all of that, works just fine, and we're okay with that. I mean, Joker made $1 billion and had no hero in it. It just had a villain. So, I mean, there's that. So, I'm pretty sure that HBO Max and all of them are listening about that. But nonetheless, we still don't have any confirmation yet of an exact date of when we would be getting the Snyder Cut. It just says 2021, and I'm wondering if they're just waiting to see what else they might be releasing that has like this sort of director's cut, and they're trying to fit it all into slates, because at the end of the day, it's a business. They have to keep it going, so it doesn't make sense for them to pump out everything all at once, because people would just binge it and then just leave the app. And that's the sad case with a lot of people. So I think that them taking their time and really seeing and testing the waters makes a lot of sense. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with all of this, and exactly where HBO Max is going to go from here. What do you think, however, about these director cuts coming to HBO Max? Is it a good thing or not? And what would you think of let's say now three different DC universes going on simultaneously? Because we do have the Flash and the Batgirl and Superman on the CW like type show thing going on. Then we have the movie theater DCU going on, and then we're gonna have the streaming DCU going on. What do you think of all of that? That would definitely be a great way to introduce the whole multiverse and all of that, and it just would make sense, especially if they have Ezra Miller hopping in there. Actually, what did happen with Ezra Miller and that whole thing with the fan? I haven't even really looked into that, but they could definitely find a way to interweave everything and make it all work and have it all happen at the same time, and just here and there maybe have a pop-up from time to time. I think that would be definitely a cool thing to do, because at this point it's just dumb for DC to try and only do one timeline, especially how far they've branched out things, and some things worked when they branched out, some didn't. So if they just cut off those branches that are dead and keep the other ones flourishing, they're gonna have something good on their hands. But in the meantime, we're just gonna have to wait. David Ayer's cut might be released sometime next year, hopefully, if all things go well. I need to see all those Joker footage that we didn't get to see, and I want to see his vision be brought back to life. And I mean, would Jared Leto even come to try and finish anything, as he is now with playing the character of Morbius, of course, for Sony and Marvel? It's something we're gonna have to see. But I think that this is the next step for movies with superheroes. Is you're gonna have that multiverse thing come into play, as we've been hearing it's gonna happen with Spider-Man as well. But let me know your thoughts below. Are you going to be watching whatever happens with the David Ayer cut or Zack Snyder cut? Are you even interested in that, or do you think it's something that we just need to leave behind because it sets a bad precedent? Because, I mean, think about it. Zack Snyder got his director's cut. Why wouldn't J.J. Abrams get his director's cut, is what's going to end up being the conversation now. So, I mean, would Disney fall and do the same thing and release it on Disney Plus, or what? And I mean, the one I talked about during the Snyder cut is the Josh Trank Fantastic Four cut that I don't think we would see for a while, because Fox is now owned by Disney, and I don't see where Disney would be able to dump that on. So it's going to be interesting what some directors feel about all of these other directors getting the chance to get their cut out, and how that will set a new normal of sorts, if that is the case. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you all for it or not? Do you think the David Ayer cut is as important as the Zack Snyder cut? I think it is. I think any director's cut is their chance to show exactly what they want to give out to their audience, and it's important for them. So Yes, it's important. Let me know your thoughts below. And as always, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, comment, share, all that good stuff on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Let's get to it by next week. Hopefully we can get to that. And that's going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive. Hey, if you're still here, still listening, appreciate you making it to the end. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and check out these other videos I have for you right here. Click on them, go check them out, and I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I mean, what are you waiting for? Let's get to it. Make sure you hit that subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, and make sure you give this video a like.